I would say probably my first time on a skateboard would be when I got one for Christmas. Just kind of messed around with it, saw it as being fun, and was like, this is pretty cool. That was probably when I moved to California when I was about 13. And I saw all my friends on them. I saw everyone doing it. Everyone was good. And since I had just moved from Colorado where everyone was a skier, you know, it was kind of almost new to see skateboarding. And I was like, yeah, let's give this a try. And I fell in love with it kind of right off the bat.
So I was fairly young when I was exposed to roller skating. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, my family and I, we moved out from Colorado to New Jersey. And the town that we moved to, I wouldn't say it was secluded or anything like that, but there wasn't really anything for kids to do. You know, there wasn't much for us to do to entertain ourselves within the town. And I guess my parents, they took us to this roller rink that's located about 15-20 minutes from where we lived. And while we were there, this guy managed to convince my parents to sign my brother and I up for the local speed skating team there at the rink. And we did that for a couple of years. Eventually we left the team, but we continued to go just to skate and have fun.
Yeah, that's me and him, yeah. Joey's my fucking bro.
That was really awesome to get recognized out here. I don't know, it was just like a couple skateboarders over at Trocadero. We were skating and they, I noticed them just skating like downhill on their longboards, and they're not going fast at all. They're, maybe going 10 to like 25 miles an hour max, just kind of cruising, but they're having fun with it. And I went up to them and I said, hey, what's up? Like, you guys are downhill skateboarders. That's pretty dope. And I started talking about, like how we kind of make videos and kind of go for it. And I had mentioned a YouTube channel that we film with, and he kind of lit up and he goes, no way, are you Judson? Like, are you like Jud? And he couldn't say my name at first because he's French. It was funny. And I was like, yeah, dude, fuck, no way. You actually know who, like, you've seen a video of me before? Like, holy shit, like, that's so sick.
The thing about roller skating is it kind of changes the way people perceive you when they discover that you enjoy roller skating, that it's something you do in your spare time. After I rediscovered roller skating post high school, there were always those moments where I would, at the rink, I would see somebody that I knew from either school or from work who happened to be there, just coincidentally. And I would always kind of remember the look of surprise on people's faces when they, realize that I like to roller skate. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that, even to this day, I'm not always the most talkative person. I usually tend to be more introverted than extroverted. And those moments where that look of surprise, it's usually sort of a moment of pride for me. Roller skating has always been something that I've been good at physically, and growing up there are always those individuals, who excel at basketball, at football, at whatever. And for me it was kind of roller skating. But the way that people perceive you, it isn't always for the better, I remember one time I was heading back to my apartment, and my apartment is fairly close to where I go to school. And I ran into another classmate, and we talked for a little bit, but I'll never forget the way that she the expression on her face when she said, oh, and have fun roller skating. It was like, to her face and the way she said it, it implied that, it was, seeing me on roller skates was the most absurd thing she'd ever seen. And, there are moments where I kind of secretly hope that, I can show off in front of my colleagues, my classmates, whatever. But then, there are moments like that where I kind of like, I want to keep it private.
Excuse me, all of you that are there, move.
Is that the spot?
That's the spot. That's where everybody fucking stops.
My favorite time I've ever been like skateboarding was probably between like 15, 16, 17. That's the time when all my friends were in it. So it wasn't like I had friends that didn't skateboard. It was my whole community of kids were all skateboarders. We get out of class, go skateboarding, and that was kind of our lives.
At the end of the day, though, everyone gets into skateboarding because, you know, they want to be with their friends. Everyone has that same culture. They want to go land some tricks with their buddies and go around and have some fun with it.
But for me, my favorite thing to do in Paris on a skateboard is just like pick a direction and just go and just discover, because like you can't be on your phone, you can't do anything, you have to focus on where you're going, so you're looking at everything, you know, you see what you get a really good lay of the land. Being a skateboarder lets me be able to see kind of everything that is in front of me. So I get to see different alleys and see different routes and just kind of pick a way to go, and that's the most fun, because you always find stuff you didn't expect to find where you go, and it's like, wow, like I didn't even know this was here. And then, you know, I would never have walked around over here, but since I have a skateboard, I can take that route, and maybe, you know, you find something and you do.
You know, roller skating, it's not the most easy activity to get into, you know. Suddenly you're trying to find your balance on top of these wheels, you know, you're no longer, your feet aren't on the ground, you know, and you're trying to figure out how to position your body and how to get your balance under control. It's hard, and it kind of takes a lot of patience, but when you do finally get it, you know, it's fantastic, you know. Suddenly you're in control, and you know, just the sensation of gliding along a smooth surface, be it, you know, freshly laid asphalt or, you know, the surface at a roller rink, it's fantastic. I don't know how else to explain it. Idealistically, I would like to be able to skate for as long as I'm alive. There is something comforting about knowing that I have my skates with me, and if I ever get the urge, you know, I can just slap them on and kind of pick up where I left off. But if I'm no longer able to do that, like, I think I'll be devastated. I guess it's kind of like when, you know, you hear about people that like take pride in their work and have been working working like all their life, and then suddenly they're told, oh, you have to retire. And there's this sort of bewilderment with your, like, what do I do with myself? How am I, like, what am I to do now? And I think that's something that I'll feel if that day ever comes when, you know, a doctor or whoever tells me you can no longer skate.
That
was cool.
Board's got some heat, you can see it.
Shit.
Do you know how old Tony Hawk is? I don't know how old Tony Hawk is, but I saw an Instagram video of him yesterday, and I gotta say he's at least, you know, after his 40s, and I saw him get like 20 feet of air out of a skateboard bowl, and he's still cruising, like it's mellow, like all good, no problems, and you know, I'm not even close to as good as he, you know, I'll never be as good as he is, but, you know, if I can still ride a skateboard, I probably will. You know, definitely as life pushes on and responsibilities, you know, take action, you know, happen, then, you know, you can dedicate less time to it. You know, I might not be on a trick skateboard doing bowls or kind of going around, but I'll be on a longboard cruising somewhere, getting to where I need to go and having fun with that. I don't know, maybe like, you know, I'd like to have a nice dog that pulls me on my longboard as an old guy. I think that'd be pretty cool.